Well, here we are with my Jag XKR, and today we're going to have a look at how to fit a sat-nav into the dashboard. Forgive the quality of the video, but I only have the camera phone. And as you can see inside, this is the model with the sat-nav built in originally. I'm going to show you how to take that out, how to hardwire it, and then put in the model of Garmin that I'm showing you above, which is the Garmin Nuvi 2597. This is the one with lifetime maps and traffic, and hopefully it will look like a factory fit by the end of it. Straightforward. You're going to need some Torx screwdrivers, Phillips screwdriver, and I'll show you what else on the way. Okay, so here goes. Right, so the first thing we have to do here is take out the dashboard. We have to take off this panel here, which hides the airbag, and then take out the glove box. This will give us access behind this corner here to a port which is intended for a cigarette lighter or auxiliary socket, which is what we're going to plumb our power supply into. So first off, we need to take off this panel here. That's really straightforward. This is only just to get access to screws underneath here. It's really very gently, it's a straight pin. Just give it a small pull at each side like that, which I'm trying to do one-handed. I'll swap hands. Just ever so gently, and off it comes. So you can see the airbag modules underneath, and you also see there are ribbons that hold it in place so it can't fall further. Just lift it up a bit here. You can see here, I hope you can see, the two screws that hold the top in the centre, and at the corners we have two more screws. These are all just Phillips, so you need a Phillips screwdriver. Underneath, however, right under here, there are brackets with the hinges on it, and we need to take one of these screws out. These are Torx 25, so those are the parts you're going to need. So I'm just going to unscrew these and show you the next stage. And here we are underneath the dashboard, and here's the type of screw we're taking out. It's a Torx 25. Now there are four of these showing underneath on hinges, but you only want to take off the ones to the outside only. There's no need to take the inboard ones. I'll show you, I've taken one off already, hopefully you can see this. So you can see there I've taken off one and left the inboard one. At this side here, you should hopefully see the other ones, if I've got this right. It's kind of hard. Okay, so, and now you'll see that the whole unit's ready to come out quite happily, but watch out, you have the courtesy light at the side, and you'll have to withdraw it completely, take out these small pins that attach the courtesy light to the glove box. So it will come out quite a way. As you can see, it's got quite a length of cable here, but you'll want to take it out anyway. Here we have the connector that we're going to mate it up to. As you can see, I've actually taken it out of the metal rail that is held on by this lug that you're seeing here, and ignore the cables to the right there for a dash cam that I have that I'll rewire. What is important is to know that there are three cables coming in here. The black one is the earth. There is then a brown with a green stripe, and there's also a white with a red stripe. Now the brown is the permanent live, and the white is the switched live. So brown for permanent live and white for switched live. The plan here is to use something like this, which is just a straightforward accessories port that you can buy on the internet from just about anyone for, in the UK, about £5. What I'm going to do is I'm going to wire this directly into the accessories port that I've just shown you, and then I'm going to trace it from here all the way across to the back of here, which I'll show you once I actually make the connection first. Then in the back of here, when all this original sat-nav comes out, there's enough space to put the accessories port and use the Garmin supplied cigarette attachment to plug straight into it. So this will go into the other one, but hidden behind the dashboard. So fingers crossed, let's get on with it. Now the first problem, of course, is to get this unit off here. To do that, I went on the internet and bought myself a set of trim removal tools. Cheap, cheerful, but they take away the worry about scratching or ripping anything as you do these. This particular unit has clips there and there, which are straight. It also has metal lugs that go in at the top here, both there and there, which are actually at a slight angle, which I'll show you just how that causes a problem for us that we overcome by canting it. So putting the little hook in there and just giving a gentle prise, you hear it click. That's the first side off. Same again. These things are absolutely brilliant. I mean, that's one-handed. But now I'm in a position where I can lift this. Now if I try to pull it straight off, I'm going to possibly break lugs here. I have to bring it at an angle about here. And then I might have to do it two-handed. I can perhaps take one out. You see me coming here. Just putting my finger behind it and keeping it at that angle. Very careful, because you don't want to stress this area here. This is perhaps not a thing to be doing one-handed, so I'm going to come off the video and just do this, but trust me, using essentially a finger behind there and a tool just gently behind here to keep the flex from bending that too much, you'll see how it comes. But importantly, as I say, I can't stress it enough, have it at an angle like it about there. If you have it flat, you're putting a lot more stress on the wood and you might damage something. Bring it like that, comes out like a dream. I'll show you how just in a minute. And here I am back again, just unclipped them and now lifting it away. And if I turn it side on, you can see perhaps now that the lugs are at a slight angle. That one, the first one, seems to vent slightly on the flat. The other one, I've obviously put too much strain on this, so watch out for this when you're putting these in and out. You don't want one of these to break. They should be both at about that angle. The ones at the bottom you can see are straight and go into these holes here. But for resighting everything, we need to take these clips off and put them back in, which is what I'm going to do just now. Just rotate it a little bit and it usually pops off. You may have to use a screwdriver underneath it just a little, but I think this one's going to come just to show you. He hopes. Right, here we go, one clip. And all we do with that clip is we go to here, put it smack in the centre, and just wiggle it in. Do the same on the other side and it's ready to come apart. I'll just change hands, change tape, and show you how to remove that actual sat-nav unit, and you'll get a much better idea where we're going now. So here we have the unit. I've taken the screws out from the 3 of the holes. I just left this one finger tight so I can just take it out and show you on camera. See, it just wants to drop slightly. The wiring is to the left hand side here. As you can see, there's the wiring loom on top. We're just going to disconnect that. Again, a two-handed job, and then I'll be able to lift the unit out and show you the recess we're going to use. And here we have the unit actually out of the car recess here, and you'll see that the 2 lugs are really straightforward. The black bit is what you press on for release. I spent a while pressing the white one. Trust me, it's the black one and it's easy as pie if you press the right one. So I'll give this a clean up and I'll show you how to route the cable. It can be quite tricky threading this through the back of the dashboard and down behind the back of the airbag. A couple of ways you can do it. In a shorter run, I tend to use one of these little pick tools and just hook. Another way is obviously put wires through, but on this occasion I found a very useful one is just a big zip tie, as you can see here, which I've threaded through to the point that it's right through to where I want. I'll then be able to just pull the cable right through without any issues. And here you can see how I've been able to fit this in here. I was quite lucky actually. I have this, the mount that I bought. It's a nice tight fit, but as you can see, it's one type that has the lid, and we happen to have these useful cable ties or zip ties already factory fitted, and it slots rather nicely into there, stops it from moving about and making any noise. I'll probably put a wedge of foam underneath and above it just to keep it absolutely in place. I don't have to worry about it side to side, because once it's hardwired it's not going anywhere, and I'll tape the actual Garmin male unit to this female unit as well. So that'll be in, and a tape to just make sure it can't come undone. But that's just quite fortunate, that. So here we have the finished installation inside this recess. You can see that the holder is secure, it's not going to move, but I'm still going to put some foam either side of that before finishing, but that'll be later. And then fortunately, because of these zip ties, I'm able to put the cabling rather neatly away. I've already checked it, plugged it in, it comes on and off as it should do. The beauty of this particular Garmin is that when you switch off the ignition, because it's wired through the accessory circuit, the Garmin goes into long-term sleep mode, which doesn't drain the battery. Then when you turn the ignition on, bang, up it comes again. So perfect for fitting behind the dash. And here we have the Garmin unit now fitted into the actual wooden dash. This has been done using 3M tape, as you can see, on the top and the bottom, and then some black masking tape just to close the shut lines so you don't see anything through the sides. Be very careful to watch the microphone is tucked in just in the corner here, so you need to leave that open, which it has done. It's just visible and no more. So now there's no light showing through the sides, either side, but now we have this problem with where the switches would be. So for that, I got an old speaker and cut up the front of it. As you can see, when this is put on there, against a white background, obviously it doesn't look too good. But when you put it against a black background, different matter. To put these on, I've got the hot glue gun working, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to mount it on with some blobs of hot glue just to hold it in place. Have one for either side, obviously, and as long as the inside behind it is all matte black, it should look good. That will allow the sound to come out and be audible instead of it being hidden inside. Fingers crossed. So here we are now with matte black, the backing plate for the Garmin to go against. As you can see, the Garmin is ready, and we may offer up some padding in there as well to make it safe. So here we have it all set up. As you'll see, I've put a few rubber pads, just a bit of sponge, just to hold the back of the unit so that it can't be pressed off the 3M tape at all. Everything's all satin blacked, some tape down the bottom to hide any shut lines of white, and the unit itself powered up. When I switch off the ignition, which is at the moment on, as you'll see, it then switches itself off. So I'll put it back together and let you see the finished article. Well, here it is, the finished product. I hope you like it. I'm quite pleased with it. It looks professional, even though we know that there's lots of sticky tape and 3M tape and various things going on in the background. It works. The hands-free side of it is particularly useful. The microphone is in the bottom left-hand corner towards the front, and the speaker being towards the back, the sound we can still hear quite happily through the grills. I'll try and demonstrate some of that for you just now. Now to try the hands-free side of it. You have to have a password. I set mine as XKR. XKR!
Say a command.
Phone.
Select a phone menu item.
Phone book.
Which contact would you like to call?
Voicemail.
Calling voicemail M.
Cancel.
Which contact would you like to call?
Exit. Exit. Pretty good, you think? Lastly, because of course this is wired up to the accessories switch, the power to the lead goes off when we switch off the engine. At the moment electrics are on, and what it does is it goes into a 15-second countdown and switches off. Watch. Power's away. And that's it. Simple as that. When I come back into the car and put the ignition on, voila, up she fires. Well, I hope it works for you. If you like it, give it a try. And here, just so you can see it, here's the car running in night mode. It's just getting dusk now, but it gives you the feel for how it looks when it's all set up and running. So, best of luck if you try it. Cheers.